Hey geek-ly, Kikai Wafra here. Pull up a stool and grab a drink because we need to have a serious talk. You know, usually when a company drops a financial report, it is the most boring time of the year. It is just rows of spreadsheets and suits patting themselves on the back. But this week, Ubisoft decided to spice things up by dropping a quote so explosive, so wildly out of touch, that it has got the entire industry doing a collective double take. We are talking about Yves Guillemot, the big boss at Ubisoft, and his latest vision for the future of gaming. So here's the lowdown. Ubisoft finally released their delayed financial report. And honestly, it was not all doom and gloom. Assassin's Creed Shadows, despite the internet noise, is apparently doing better than expected financially. The company is stable. But then, in the middle of all this, Yves Guillemot decided to talk about generative AI. You know, the tech that scrapes data to create text and images. He went on record saying that incorporating generative AI into video games is, and I quote, as big a revolution for our industry as the shift from 2D to 3D. Let that sink in for a second. He is comparing ChatGPT writing quest lines to the moment we went from Super Mario World to Super Mario 64. Now, let's take a breath and be fair here. I want to play devil's advocate here, I really do. If you look at this purely from a technological potential standpoint, I sort of get what he's trying to sell. We've seen the demos of their Neo NPCs, right? The idea is that instead of a script with 3 dialogue options, you have characters that can technically react to anything you say. That's the dream. If AI can actually make worlds more dynamic, if it can help developers build massive cities without crunching for 10 years, then yes, that is a revolution. Just like 3-dimensional graphics opened up a Z-axis for gameplay, AI could theoretically open up an infinite narrative axis. If you're an investor looking at a spreadsheet, this looks like the future. It looks like efficiency, scale, and endless content. On paper, Yves is not technically wrong about the scale of the disruption. But, and you know there was a massive but coming, it's when I look at the reality of how Ubisoft is actually using this stuff that I want to scream into a pillow. Because comparing the magic of 3-dimensional revolution to the current state of generative AI is honestly insulting to everyone who was there for the 3-dimensional revolution. Think about it. The jump to 3 dimensions was about artistic expansion. It gave us new ways to play, new ways to explore, and new ways to feel immersed. It was about adding depth. What we're seeing with generative AI right now feels like it is entirely about removing effort. It feels like cost-cutting dressed up as innovation. The reaction to Guillemot's comment has not been excitement, geekly. It's been sheer panic and eye rolls. Fans are literally asking for labels on games so they can avoid the ones with AI in them. That's not how people are reacting to the PlayStation 1. Nobody said, oh no, polygons, how do I avoid this? And the timing is tragic. This quote comes out right after Ubisoft got caught with their pants down on Anno 117 Pax Romana. Players noticed the artwork looked weird, and I'm talking about the classic AI slop look. Ubisoft had to come out and admit, oops, those were just placeholders that slipped through. Seriously? You're telling us this tech is the next great revolution equal to the invention of 3-dimensional gaming, but you can't even use it to make a loading screen that doesn't look broken? That's the hypocrisy that drives me up the wall. They're selling us a revolution that promises infinite immersion, but in practice, it just looks like a way to fire artists and flood us with mediocre, machine-generated filler. The shift to 3 dimensions was driven by creatives, pushing hardware to the limit to make art. This shift feels like it's being driven by executives pushing software to the limit to make margins. Yves is telling us we're on the brink of a new golden age, but it feels a lot more like we're on the brink of a content wasteland where nothing is special because everything is infinite. Anyway. The full article from The Gamer is in the description below, so you can read it for yourself. But I have to ask you, geekly, you're the judge today. Is Yves Guillemot right? Is generative AI actually the next Mario 64 moment that will change how we play forever? Or is this just a corporate buzzword designed to dazzle shareholders while they feed us low-effort slap. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that is the full breakdown on Ubisoft's Imaginary Revolution. If you enjoyed watching me lose my mind over this, hit that like, subscribe, and sound off below. Is Yves a visionary or just dreaming? I read everything. To support the channel directly, check the Buy Me a Coffee link down there. Also, help me out. For the next stream, are we feeling the post-apocalyptic wasteland backdrop or the shiny sci-fi command center? Let me know. I will catch you on the next level. This was Kikai Wafra for NewsGeekly.